Looks like I'm live now. Whoops. Yeah. Alrighty then. Hi. Hey, yeah, welcome. Looks like I started it a bit early, but that's fine. Ooh, echo. Let's stop that. There we go. Still a bit new to this. Let's see. Yeah, I think we'll just hang out a bit until it is 12. It's so weird. It's like live chat is okay, but then I go to like where the video should be and it's still saying I got 7 minutes and there's no chat. So I don't know. Like what? Where do I look now? Let's see. Thanks, Marcus. Yeah. Do you have a favorite one or favorite video? Yeah. It's gonna be a bit quiet for now till we totally start. Hi guys. Yeah, it started a bit early. Thanks. Okay. Now I know what I'm doing. I hope. Let's see. I got an email. Let's see. Let's see. Boop 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 boop. Sorry, Alexander, I don't speak. Is that Russian or something? A lot of stuff to look through. Okay, here we go. Ooh, looks like my stream outfit's orange. That's cool. What could that mean? Yeah. Let's see. That's so weird how. That works. Yeah, we'll get started in just a bit. Glad it didn't like started like an hour ago. Okay. Cool. Okay, you're okay. Don't want you to be frailing on us. Okay. I'm just clicking buttons right now. Absolutely nothing. Stalling right now, pretty much. Yeah. We'll get started in just a bit. Okay. We'll get started in just a bit. Just checking all the websites. Could start music. Do you like music? There you go. Sounds pretty good here, but we can test that. See if that's alright. Good levels. Because I can totally change it. I just want my, voice to be about 50% louder than the music. It's just hard to tell, through my speakers while I'm talking, Can't hear it later. I also get an echo, so. Yeah, that. Gotta live with this delay, because I can see the chat in real time, but of course you'll see what I'm saying like 10 seconds later and then you respond, so it's kind of funny. Okay. Yeah, looks like we're just about ready. Let me check a few more things over here. I got too many tabs. Yeah. Oh, wow. It says my video output is bad. How's it look to you guys? Looks like I'm streaming in 1080. Like, it wants me to, do it at, something way higher, current bitrate is 96. Whatever is kilobips. That's so weird. It's like, why isn't the live chat working on that one? On that one page. That's like on the normal, where the video should be, the live chat isn't working, but when I go to the dashboard, then it's working. Is it because I'm not officially started yet? I'm just rambling to make sure all these technical stuff works first before we get into it. We'll get started in just less than a minute now. Yeah. Oh, hey guys. Yeah, good to see you. Everyone, great. Let's see. Maybe about 30 seconds for me, which will be about 40 seconds to you right now. But when you hear this, then it'll be even less time or more. I don't know. Anyway. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, yeah, that's my. If you can hear that. Is the music sound okay? The levels and everything? I haven't got any confirmation on that yet. Ooh, I should tweet this out now. Live stream. Stream. Now do I take it from this URL? I didn't even copy it, did I? Boop. There. Now does that go to here? Kinda. So it's coming soon. It should be there. That's me in the back. Yeah, whatever. You guys are here. Okay, we'll get started now. Hey everyone. So welcome to the live stream. As you can tell by the title, this is a Patreon goal stream. Everything else you need to know is pretty much in the description. If you can see that. Is it there? I don't know. Yeah. So here's my Patreon page here. So we got the $20 a month thing. So I said that we would do this little live stream here. So of course all you chat can hang out here. And main chat will be Q&A, and everyone else, the real patrons, can't hear the music. Okay, I'll turn it up a bit. Everyone else, well, the patrons will give me something to suggest to animate, or maybe a vector or something. It's up to them. So, how are you guys doing? And patrons can start sending me what they want me to animate as suggestions or requests, whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna go ahead and start setting up my file, making sure this is alright. Send up the audio levels for streaming and events. This is Adobe Animate, so formerly known as Adobe Flash. It's an animation program, hence animate as the title. So in here we can use a brush, we can change color here, and we can draw. That's horrible. There we go. And we can animate. So this is a timeline. It's weird how the music seems really loud in my ears, but if you can't hear it, I'll set it up a bit higher within streaming thingy. There we go. That should be roughly okay if I just yell. Okay. Oop. Using two monitors. It's a bit tricky. How are you guys doing? Looks like the chat stopped. Or no one's talking. Can't tell. Okay. Anyway, I was doing this as an example. We're now here. I can make them blink. So I'm using the onion skin to, let's see. That was laggy. Okay. And then, let's see. So I'm going to copy that one over there. So that should be pop. Mouth moves. So let's fix that. So I'm just flipping back and forth and seeing. That's closest we'll get it. So something like that. This is just really simple. Yeah. So go ahead and chat. Ask me any questions. Q&A. It's open now. Patrons again can send me suggestions. And of course, if we don't get any suggestions, I got plenty of other stuff I can show off. So. That's basically the stream for tonight, or today, or morning, wherever you are. It's gonna be pretty chill here. Change his board to be 2K. I just like 2K. 2K is twice as much as HD, which is 720p. This is the how many pixels the canvas size is that I was messing with. Stuff like that. Boop. Let's see. Here's scenes, color swatches, transformation. I'm just doodling around until something happens, pretty much. We can call this label layers smiley. There we go. Yeah. So of course, patrons are open to do that. Can be like, oh, how about just like, for example, maybe even something like this, like just this guy and he's blinking. Or of course we can get way more complicated. Maybe make a whole scene, or we only got like a couple hours here. I don't want to go on for too long today. Yeah. How we doing, chat? Yeah. Let me go over here. Check Twitter for a sec. Okay, cool. Fan settings, I never check with these. Okay. That's totally fine. Let me just check my document to see. Okay. If we didn't do that, then I can move on to the next thing. Okay. Oops, sorry. Let me close this. No, I wanted to open a file. Hey, new guys, what's up? Pretty much what you need is in the description. So go ahead and read that. I'm just gonna open a file here. What am I doing? Maybe I should open this first. What do I want? Paper pony. There you are. How long does it take to make a 1-minute animation? Great question. Let's see. I know like 3-ish years ago, what did it take me? It actually takes me about the same time. Well, let's see. About a week. It's a short answer. Of like full day of work. Like about 5 to 6 hours a day. Of course, most of that is separated. Where each day is like script, storyboard, pre-production, which is just making the assets like this, and then actual animation takes about, with paper ponies it takes like a whole day to animate for that 1 minute. Yeah, and then there's not too much post-production. That's mostly just adding the audio, which is sound effects and music. Everything else is pretty much pre-made, where I got like a whole file just for, let's see, projects and stuff. This is YG Intro 2. So like, here's my pre-made file just for my intro. Of course, this is my new one that I remade a lot of it. So I added the grass back here, added that cool shine effect, which is a mask. See this little square there? So that goes along, and it's a bit complicated to explain, but it's a mask. So where I think I have a duplicate layer of the text on top, and then below that is this rectangle, and then below that is a duplicate of the text again. And so only where the text is where this box can visually show up like this. And of course I animated it to go across the whole letters. That's just simple and fun technique. The text has a bit of a shape warp. Where is that? That's below here. This text. There you go. Has a bit of a shape warp, so I can kind of see, kind of wobble. Wanted to put a lot of my animation techniques all in the little intro here, so it's very technical in how it's constructed. Yeah. So I got files like this, and then I can use just that file and export it while with the animation file. So that makes sense. So when I export it together, I can have the intro just play. I don't have to worry about it at all. And then the actual animation video, and then I got an outro, which I also got pre-made as its own file. So that definitely helps with the process, makes it very a bit shorter to make, more efficient. Yeah. Next great question. Are you derp? Yes. So this is my paper pony base model. So it's stripped of any characteristics. I would define it as any character. It's like the DNA for every other pony. So it's got the horn and wings. So you know, with like Derpy, if I can open that. Opening a file. Let's see. There you go. So here's Derpy, where I can recolor. So I can use this tab, find this color, and replace it with any other color. Just do it real quick, maybe. Anyway, where it'll find, I don't want the color. It'll find in the document every this tint color, so it'll be this color, and I can replace it with this yellow, and that's how I can get this kind of bluish gray color. There's a bit more detail on the ear here. I just wanted some shading and highlights and stuff. Of course, the hair, these red strands are just for, obviously for just to show where it should be in layer form. So here's tail, and of course I would delete this line and then put the finished tail right where it should be in the layer here. So how this puppet works is that with each of these horizontal layers, okay, patron, I see your post. Can we wear colors? Okay. So anyway, each symbol is on its own layer. Here's all of them, and if I play it, I got pre-made, like I got this wing flap that has an animation where each of these is a separate keyframe, and if I go along, we can see it animate. And because it's in this symbol here, we can have it loop, so it'll keep looping forever. Same with the legs here, have their own internal animation. So yeah, it's really hard to explain, but hopefully that gives you more of an idea of how this works, like how I make animations, which is basically just puppet building and like normal Flash puppet building. So I got this request to make Derpy change your costume colors. So what I did, I just copied the whole symbol, paper debris all, copied it into a new file. So this is a completely different file here. Let me save it somewhere. Call it. I could put all these into one file and call it requests, like that. There we go. Of course, I have to change these back again if I wanted it. Just make it a bit bigger. And that's when you don't hold shift. Not sure why. Yeah, I am holding shift. We can keep it at size then. So what I'm gonna do is save. Always important to save before you do anything too drastic. So what we want. I'm thinking, how can I divide it? If I wanted it to be blue and green, where should the green and blue be? I can make this either green or blue, or I can divide that. I can always go back in and like add more detail, so. But if I do it backwards, it might be a bit. Like if I wanted it to go back to a different color, it'll be way trickier. Huh. You guys, I'm just seeing it now. Okay. Let's actually figure out what, see how colors are. So I can get the right tint. It's kind of that. It's either that blue or like a darker blue. Or like a navy blue, really. Kind of like that. And of course I'm finding in the document this pigment right here, and probably here too. And I was going to replace it with this pigment instead. So replace all, and there we go. This is a different color. So let's not worry about that for now. Because I could do it now too. Or I could do this, change it with that back color, then go to here and change it to be about a little bit darker. Because that's a bit in the shadow, so it's a bit darker. That looks good. Think about changing this color to be the green. Look at reference over here. So that's a green. About a bit more yellow. About like that. There you go. You could even change that, maybe? That looks... I don't know. Requester, what do you think? Any suggestions? Yeah. I love it when you roleplay in the chat. Oh, that's so weirdo. In this other video stream, I don't see the thingy. Huh. Okay. Well, alright. So I'm holding shift, which means it should constrain to the same proportions no matter what. But now it's just freaking out. What if I hold the other shift on the other side? Nope. Alt. Nope. That's really weird. I could reset it, but I might take a while to get back to it. Anyway, Kristen, what is the hardest part of the pony to draw? Well, because I got this base, it's mostly, after this, it's mostly just adding the hair and whatever. So, because with Derpy it's mostly just the hair here and the tail. So I guess I think actual hardest part of like making it from going to here to like this. It's more trying to figure out the layering of where each part should be. So if I look at this, like, I would have to figure out like, oh, I usually look at the ear and looking at how to put the layers of like the other hair and everything. So because of the ear, because like I think there's one pony that has like hair that goes over and under her ear. I'm trying to figure out who that was. I'm looking at it, but you probably know who I'm trying to think of. Nope, that's paper humans. I want paper ponies. Because I'm pretty sure I made it earlier. That's they modified. Cloud kicker? Yeah, so you can see how like I feel like I kind of could clean this up a bit better. But you can see like how this is supposed to be a point that goes on top of the ear, while it looks like it's the same shape goes behind the ear at the same time. Because like looking at the reference, if I have that here? Nope. Like I can go in and see. Yeah. Looks like I did do that, but I didn't actually put it above ear. Let's see. Okay, now I know what I did. So in this one layer, I have 3 different parts. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna right click and distribute to layers. So now I got 3 layers to work with. If you don't understand, it's totally fine. It's fairly technical. Okay. If you don't know Flash, let's see. So I want to put the hair mid, which is what I called it in this part. If I put this on top of the ear layer, you can already see a big difference here. So then it's just a matter of just going in and fixing it up. Cleaning it up maybe. Sometimes we'd have to redraw some parts. Not sure why that's freaking out so much. Or like my express keys are not cooperating. So we can see a huge thing there, so I probably want to make this a bit thinner. So right now I'm just, because it's vector, these are mathematical points in space, in 2D space. So if I just drag across these curves here, I can alter the curves. Go back out a bit. So that's looking a little bit better. Of course I can always keep changing curves and stuff to make it absolutely perfect. Might have to be a bit more precise, so I use the sub selection tool to give me those Bezier handles. Maybe I could save that. Oops. Where'd you go? There you are. That looks a bit better, right? Tail's a bit out. There you go. These little white dots are the center of rotation. So we can either have it rotate around that pivot point, which it always will, or I can adjust that pivot point so now it'll rotate around this part, which is more where, you know, you would rotate your leg from, your arm. See, it's gonna be a bit moved. So that's just these points and stuff are all come from the base puppet over here. So we can see in here, I got too many stuffs. This little hammer means that these won't show up outside. See, so this is like going inside of layers. So here's the scene one where I can have a million different stuffs. Then if I double click, I'm now inside and can edit the individual parts of Pony. So now I'm just gotta hide my hammer parts here. I'm gonna turn down the music just a tad. Okay. Save that a bit. Don't want to actually really do anything. But now I can go to the base puppet, and whenever I make another character, now they'll have. Man, I was actually fiddling. I was actually doing this every time that I had a new character. I would put the circle points where they should be. So I might have. That did actually cause a lot of. Wow. Headache later. So yeah. So everything, all the emotions and everything. The head is the most complicated part. Symbol wise, because it has this many controls, you could say. Art pieces and stuff. Here, horns are all simple. Eyes are probably the most complex part of any puppet. I would say the mouth is also fairly complex. So I went inside of the mouth, and inside of its internal animation frames, I have all of these mouth shapes. So this is for lip syncing and emotions and stuff. So you probably recognize a lot of these. And some that I probably don't use too often. But I got them in case I'll ever need them. Yep. And of course you can either, when you have a character that needs to speak, you can either, you know, go inside and say, oh, I need to have this one. So let's go to request and have her look happy. So I'm going to go inside the head, and I'm going to select the mouth. And now I can either go to properties panel and say, oh, I know what this is. This is 13, eh? Nope, that's 30. 13. It's switching to 30. If that doesn't work, then we click this little frame picker, which is that in one of the newer? I know it's only in animate for now. Yeah. Anyway, this shows basically what it showed inside of the map that I showed you earlier, but it's just a little handier. So like, yeah, that's an F. I want an S. There we go. A little bit bigger. Yep. Yeah. But then if I wanted a bit later on, I can change this, add in a keyframe, which basically divides it between this section now and then this section. So now I can change it to be maybe something else, like a maybe bigger. So now when I play it, she'll blink and go Though that doesn't look quite right because the teeth just seem to disappear, so I probably want to change this to be a bit smaller, like maybe she's closing her mouth, so I can go back to 2, and then a frame later she could have her mouth closed. So something like that. And of course you can lip sync and whatever you want. You probably noticed the blink. So inside of this eyelash, again the eyes are most complex. Inside of the eyelash, which is these eyelashes graphic here, I've included this blink cycle, which is this frame, and then a closed, and then another closed bit down, and then opening back up, and then back to rest. I put it on a different layer. I don't know why. And of course this is the same. I might have changed it a bit, adjusted it to be look right. Also, we got other controls, which are these blue boxes. These are invisible, but when I click it, double click it, see that we're inside of cheek. Go to the next frame, and we got this cheek expression looking thing. And of course, I can adjust that either inside of the cheek symbol itself or outside. So I can have it here, and then I can transform it and act like its own entity here. So something like that. That's how we make expressions. I think we got some around here. I placed them to be, near where they would be. These are different eyebrows. So I got a mad looking one and a sad looking one. And of course, mixing them with the other eyebrows and face, mouths, get a whole wide range of expressions. Yeah, so that's basically how I animate mouths, which is basically the same as how I would animate. No, that's more of a frame picker kind of expression thing. For the body, it's mostly about rotating the elements. So we can see we can break her neck, and of course it's always rotating around this little white circle here. So this will be bleh. So that works. Of course these are always free floating, which is good, and sometimes maybe you don't want that. Like you might want a bone system, which I know Toon Boom has, but I don't know. I haven't really played too much with Toon Boom to see the need. Like I've already got everything already set up in this, and Flash and everything. That's like, it'll take probably another year to get everything, over to Toon Boom, unless you can import them. I don't know if you can just import like this whole section and have it work exactly like Flash, with the layers and stuff. But for body movement, let's have a pose. Maybe when she blinks, like during her blink, she can kind of like scrunch up and then jump in a bit. So a bit before that, we're gonna have, I'm not gonna need these for this movement, so I'm just gonna delete. Nope. I'm holding control. Maybe I should do only a bit at a time. And just delete the layers that I don't need, which are the hammer ones, or the guides. The guide layers, which is that walk cycle. I don't have them open. Okay. So from here, where am I? Okay. So I'm here, and I want her to jump, so I'm gonna have a starting position, which is I'm gonna have it the same as this one, this pose, and then a little bit later, she's gonna have an anticipation for the jump. So right now, I usually do this pretty fast because I'm so used to this kind of motion, where I'm gonna select everything. I'm gonna lock the shadow because I don't want that to move. I'm going to unselect the head, hold Alt on the body, and scrunch it down. Not sure why it keeps doing that. So I can kinda see. That's close. Move the head down, maybe angle it a bit. So now I can kinda see that that's a bit high. Scrunch. want the leg to be back there. I'm gonna Control A to select everything, and I got a hotkey. I made a custom classic tween button on my keyboard, which is 1. So now, whoop, it's made in between frames automatically to get to between pose to pose. I'm gonna select these, all these, and go to properties, give it an easing of 100. So it'll go whoop, something like that. Now that's the anticipation for the jump. And then a bit later, she's gonna have another pose up here when she's at the top of her jump. Select everything, unselect the head, rotate body, rotate head, give her like a yeah kind of arm, bring head back, rotate that, rotate that. This is just all eyeballing, seeing if these kind of poses work. And of course we can, in traditional animation we would be having different paper, it would be flipping between them, but digital, I'm just using the comma and period keys on the keyboard to that. So up, and then I'm gonna have, I'm kind of using maybe another 100. Of course, we can always change that. Whoop. Maybe she stays in the air for a little bit. Like, yeah. Because I always kind of like having an overshoot, which is a pose that goes, pose that goes a bit further than you wanted, and then a bit of a settle. So that's another keyframe. So that's kind of like a kind of spring into action, and then a little bit of settle, and then a couple frames of nothing. How about 2 frames? Like that. And then we're gonna have her fall back down. So it'll probably be like this. So I could just copy the same pose, drag it a bit further, clear tween. Then I'm gonna select these synchronized frames. So now the head now is at the same frame thing here. Tween. And then have the head a bit lower. I'm gonna save, it's a bit lagging. How's that? And then it goes back up. So now I'm gonna copy these frames over. I'm holding Alt and then synchronize frames to have that, because I copied it from an earlier source. I'm bringing it over so it copied this keyframe over, which started at 1, but I wanted it to start at 35, so I synchronized the frames to have it start at 35 automatically without me figuring it out and typing that in. I want this a bit lower actually. Actually really fell. She has a bit of weight. This might be a bit longer, which means I need to synchronize this frame again. And then in the head loops, so I can extend the head inside there. This is going to be a bit, I'm exposing the frames for longer. Now we need an overshoot here, and this will be the end, and this will be the overshoot, in which her body goes a bit further from here to here. Control A, make it sing, something like that. Of course, we can always make more expressions. I'm gonna delete these keys, we don't need them. And a whoop whoop. There we go. She's like, yeah. So you can see that I usually do that kind of motion a lot in my videos. You can see like it's fairly simple kind of motion, but it uses a lot of, you know, squash and stretch, overshoots, all that kind of animation jargon. So she's happy. Now we can play with the expression. So maybe she's happy and then something happens that makes her really excited. So about before it, we can clear these. Go back out, see where I am. So she's like, wow, that happened. So I need this to be a bit smaller, so that when she goes it's a bit bigger. It's like that. So she's looking, and she's happy. It's like, yeah. And then when she's falling, I'm gonna go back to either a smile or a normal, whatever you want to call this. Guess we could change it just back to this, and then 2 frames later. So with every frame there's a billion possibilities of what you want to do, so it's just up to the animator to kind of pick and choose the performance. Animators are mostly just like actors that are just acting with, you know, whatever they're puppeteering. So it's something like that. I'm gonna give her some eye expressions. Let's see, so that happens, and then maybe when she goes up, maybe during this blink she can change her eye to be like a super happy. So I'm gonna get rid of these for now. We'll set them back to 1 single frame, just to set them back to default, while I use my special, which is kind of like a miscellaneous. Can you drop an object like a trampoline when in ready objects you jumping on and react to 0 weight? Looks like this one is pretty cemented with this one, but I can try and do another one with that. So for now, I'm gonna change this one. So I either got this like this one, which is like happy, and I usually use this one like trying to remember what kind of circuit signs we would use these. Anyway, we're gonna use this one for now. See how quick that is, and figuring out like, oh, if you got like 100 of them like inside of the mouth, like there's 30 in here, you don't want to remember the frame picker. It's just way quicker. So let's see. In context, always important to look in context. There's a lot of going in and outs, but I think it's just fine. So maybe frame after that, I'm gonna delete and get rid of that, and then these should come back, and they will be loops of that, and I want to have them be getting close to open, which is this one, and then they open context. Yeah, something like that. That goes on for 65 frames, and then we can make a movie out of that. Yeah, let's have her a bit lower, so when she jumps she has more height. Yeah, there we go. And that's that. That's one motion. That's about almost 3 seconds, so you can kind of tell that this gets incredibly more complicated than the real videos that are like 1 minute, and there's multiple characters and a lot more stuff going on. Could show you that, but got this Kristen, this patron, to make her drop on an object like a trampoline, or just a box where the object she is jumping on is reacting to her weight. Ooh, I got a better idea. Not that yours bad, but I got an alternative. So I can make a new scene, but then just because I used the original version of Derpy, I can copy this, make the new scene here. Now I'm gonna duplicate it. Now I can call it something else. This is making a copy or an instance of it. So I'll have two versions of it when I call it as something else. Two, I don't know. Usually with my videos, I'll have like each shot will have a separate version of Derpy. Because I have a separate copy, I can delete all these keyframes. And to make sure, before anyone freaks out, we have the first scene, and she has all of her keyframes here. Go to the second scene, she's here, and her keyframes are gone. You might have seen that her head still has the animation inside of it. So we have to make this a separate thingy too. So we have to make it a duplicate. So I'm calling it 2, just to make it consistent with everything else. Go inside here, and then I can clear all these keyframes just to bring it back. And of course, she still has that. And we can change her mouth back to neutral, and we're back to normal. For real videos, I'll, keep my original copy of the puppet always, and then just make copies of the original instead of what I did here. So, what my idea was, I don't think I do, so that'll be fun. Of course I can name this layer because I'm gonna have more things in here. Yeah, I drew that, Timmy. That's just like a 2-frame kind of thing. I can open that up if we want to, if we wanted to see how that worked. For this one, let's see. So I'm gonna have Derpy, which I duplicated. I'm in scene 2, just make sure. Only reason I'm doing it this way, I don't usually do scenes in my videos, in my projects, so this is just a way to have different, scenes in a way. It's a bit complicated how to describe it. Okay, so we got Derpy, or maybe just for now I'll keep it here. And of course, whenever we draw, we just want to have a reference, but we don't want to directly copy it. Let's see. So the way that I draw, I want to have you and you. There we go. So I'm going to have on my second monitor you chat and a reference at the same time. There we go. Okay, now we're ready to do this. Let me read your thing again before I just get too far. Make a drop on an object like a trampoline or a box or cube where the object it shoots is reacting to her weight. Okay, yeah. So what I'm gonna do is, the way that I usually draw is, let's just hide you for now. I don't need you for now. So usually use the brush tool and just kind of sketch something out. You can probably tell what it is by now. Maybe something like this. Very loose, very loose. And of course, go back in and maybe we can adjust it. So Something like this. It's all about iterations. And of course this is just a sketch, so we're not worried about harming, you know, multi-shaded, you know, art right now. We're just trying to plan it out. Try to get the volume in shape first before we, you know, knock down the actual lines. So I'm gonna go here, and now I'm gonna hold shift on the eyeball here just to bring it down in opacity. I think that's a animate only thing. So I'm gonna bring my line tool, get it a nice, very different color from the background and everything. Bring this up because we want to keep it fairly consistent with the rest of the world. We could bring this to be about the same thickness. That's pretty good. Cap it to be squared off and mitered or metered. So that's our test there. Now we can just go around and trace what we drew for the brush sample. I'm using the line tool, which is kind of like a pen tool in other Adobe projects, and it should work the same way. So I laid out the original points and stuff like that. Let's see. So I can hide it, and now we got fairly good. Of course, this is quick. If I wanted it to be really good, I would spend lots more time on it. But for now, that'll do. Now we'll color it. Copy, Control All to get everything. Let's color this. What color should it be? Maybe red? Red balloon. Now, balloons are fun. In case you didn't know what it was, hopefully you kind of saw what it is. Balloons are fun because they are somewhat opaque, which means they have a low alpha. In this case, so I could maybe even bring it down to 60 red. Can't tell here, but if I change this, you can definitely see it's not fully red tint there. We're gonna make a new layer just for the shine, so I can give this half opacity white, make it a brush, make this about 30. This is that. Brush size, yeah, that. Paint normal. Let's make this way bigger. So let's see. So maybe like that. This is like a highlight. So something like that. Maybe something on here. Maybe it's smaller for that. Of course, I'm always erasing and redrawing. That's fairly good. Maybe we can have this a bit darker for the shadow, kinda. Maybe? Nah, that doesn't look too good. Okay, that'll do. So I'm gonna select both of these layers, or I could select the frames here. Copy frame, Control F8. That's function 8. Create new symbol. This is balloon. Could be a graphic or a movie clip. If we're doing a movie clip, we can add more filters. I don't think we need too many filters for that. Let's go here, paste frames. There we go. Back to scene 2. And now it's in our library because we made it a symbol. So I can drag this out of the library. And now I got a copy of the balloon. And now it's on one layer instead of the 2 layers that we had. So I can go here, delete all that, delete this layer, and then that's our original brush layer. So now we got a balloon and a derpy. Yeah. Ugh. Okay. So I might want to move the pivot point a bit lower. So my idea, let's see. I'm thinking about maybe this is something too. We can put the balloon layer inside of the pony puppet and have it, where would it be? It would be in between the far leg, so it'll be in front of it's about there. Puppet pony's scale is a bit different, so we have to get this a bit bigger. Have to do it in increments there. Go back out, so I'm on scene 2. Now we can delete this balloon, and now we got these connected. So these always worked in tandem, because they're all part of each other now. And that works pretty good. Layers, okay. So I was just gonna have her bounce on this balloon. And then the balloon will squash and stretch. So let's go inside. Now we can unlock this shadow. So we can make this now the shadow of the balloon instead. Kind of adjust it. And of course his shadow will make it seem like it's more there instead of just out of nowhere. But now we can pretend in this white void that there's like the horizon line, like right here-ish. That was really good. Boop boop. So I can go inside here. And so now we can think about poses. Like where would her start pose be? We can also make this a loop. So we gotta figure out what we want her to do. Like we can either just have her on it, and then if I do this, and then just to show you different possibilities, where you can have her just kind of like go right here and kind of like jump on it, or we can have her stand on it. That's what I said, like there's always like a million times a million possibilities for every thing we do. I'm thinking about the last step, so that'll be a surprise. Let her do a flip. Might be a bit tricky because they're just thinking about the shape of her. It won't be too even. She could be running on it. Like she'd be using all of her legs and kind of going like back and forth. Maybe like just kind of run on it, or like you said, we can have her kind of like go up and then kind of rotate and just kind of land on it like that, and then maybe it's kind of like upside down and fall on it. Oh my god, that was loud. I don't know if you heard that. Let's see. Is requester still there, Kristen? Does she know what you want to do? Any idea? Leaving it up to you guys now. Because also what I ultimately wanted to do was to have her bounce, and then outside of here I can have her tween from like, let's make her a bit smaller, maybe like tween from here and like have her travel across, so she'll be having an action inside while she's slowly bouncing across. Do a flip. I'm not sure what a flip means. Let her flip, okay. Was that the thing that I was showing earlier where She just rotates around. Flip. Okay. Gotcha. Just want to clarify it. Might have already said it by now, but I can also have her flip, you know, this way too. Even this way. It's like she can start, you know, like here. And then kind of flip like that. Which doesn't really make sense. A salto. Like a somersault? Okay. I'm just worried about the head. I don't know what's tarse. Look up. Man, it's Spanish. Okay. I'm looking it up. Jump. Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to jump. I can label this while we're trying to figure this out. This is balloon. Okay. So now I'm getting rotating around or jumping. Maybe she can then rotate around and like kind of bounce up and down on it. Yeah. Jump in the air, flip and land down. Okay. So now we gotta plan out the keyframes of that. So if I wanted to loop, I gotta make sure that it's easy to get back to it. Know what I mean? So I could do the balloon layer later. This would be probably just a simple bunch of tweens and stuff, so nothing, you know, you know, secondary animation, which is on its own kind of time thing. Okay, good idea. Okay, that was in the past. Okay, ooh, just have her bounce down and see how her weight affects the balloon. The balloon should react to her jump. Okay, yeah, I got that. Let's see. Why do I still got this balloon reference open? Okay. Okay. Looking. Let's see. Okay. Usually like going into full screen, so I'm not worried about everything else. All my panels and stuff. Yeah. Just have fun. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is have her kind of like splayed out on this balloon. I have too many legs. There you go. So I'm just gonna try and pose it where it's just kind of laying on the balloon. We can do the expression later. Had the balloon pop. Okay, yeah, that'd be fun. Like at the end, yeah, I could do that. So what we want is have this pose. We can add the secondary animation, but I just want to make sure that get the key poses in, and then add like all the overshoots and settles in later. So we're just gonna add something like this, and then way later it'll be the same here. So for here, I'm gonna try and see how to rotate her. Would it be funnier to have her rotate than to hit her head or her tail next? If she's going this way, maybe. How do you get it to? That means it's like a tire, so that means it has to rotate this way to get the balloon to go that way, I think. Anyway, I'm just gonna try that. So that means that she could be up, and then we can pose her. Have her arms kind of go down. The legs need to be. Now we're getting into the lore of this. With Pinky just coming in. Because of that. I don't know what this pose is. Needs to be above. Like directly above it. So center of mass needs to be relatively in the same area. We're just gonna tuck these all in like she's bracing for it. And then we'll figure out all the in-betweens later. So then maybe it should be just straight upside down. Like this. See, this is what I meant, like where do I put the head? Like she's just this is gonna be goofy. Okay. I'm gonna be pretty much the opposite of pretty much the same as the first pose, but just upside down. Maybe it's even more spread out. Oops. Tail. Yeah, it could be down there. We get it in between to make sure that these poses work fluidly. Sometimes Flash doesn't quite know where to put these. So we got whoop, whoop. And then we gotta have her up and then rotate another almost 90 degrees. Like that. And in the same kind of pose. Oops, there you go. Kind of putting her legs and all of her legs together. In the middle. This might not work out too well, but we'll see. Boop, boop, boop. Is it hard? It's hard to imagine, you know, this kind of pose, because it's like, well, what should she be doing on this balloon? It was just the concept of how to get her. What's the first pose? Is that. So we can then have her land from here. Can she rotate around and land like that? So we're gonna delete most of these. Now we to actions. Delete frames. Roughly the same. Now we're just gonna test it. 1. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need a lot more. That's basically it. How's that in theory, in concept looking? This is so weird. Control Alt Enter. What even? Oh no. Okay. We're getting there. Okay. Now we have the basic idea, probably. And then we can have her do it maybe 2 times and have the balloon pop and then pink can come in. So... I'm thinking about making this a bit faster. Maybe I should get rid of the tweens here. Let's go back to basics. So from here to here, we gotta have the easing. Then this needs to be negative 100. Yeah, that was just autocorrect. Whoop. We can definitely see a lot more dynamic movement like that. Oops, make it a keyframe first. Then we can play with the ease. Boop, boop. Yeah, that's more like a boom. And then that should be negative 100, because this one is positive. Boop. Definitely need like a halfway frame in here. Right. Kristen, we're just working on Derpy's movement for now. So, and then, yeah, there should definitely be between here to, oh my, just looking at that, ooh, god. Definitely need it in between here. Oh. I selected something that's not in between, so I can't do that. So in between here, I think we need that to get something like that. Yeah, my tablet is the small Intuos thingy. Boop. So that should hopefully help it. Yeah, that's good. This needs a bit more time. Or maybe go back. This needs to be over more for it to... like that. Now we need her to prepare to drop like that. This needs more time. That's really soft. Wow. So this needs to be a bit more extreme. And then take less time. Between here to there, and then it's gonna be faster. I'm gonna synchronize the frames. Yeah, not too sure about this indie part. That's what I said earlier. That getting back to the original is a bit trickier to have it loop solidly. Oop, oop, oop. So maybe like a half in between, a bit low, and then low, and then boop. I mean, that's smooth, but too smooth. this bit there, there, and then it should probably just be really close, and then it kind of settles. This is still too fast. But then it's too slow, so it's like, eh. Hoop, hoop. Straight up. Might have to in between this, like with real keyframes. Now we're gonna do the overshoots and settles. So it just starts there, and then really should have a settle a little bit longer. Let's go to 45. And this, no balloon. No. Should have to settle. Hey guys. It needs to be and a bit quicker. Let's see if I can boop. Hup. See that context? Ah, I see. Because the settle is so long. If I move this over, just have it like maybe like take 2-ish frames. Has been long, but so we need between here and here. I'm gonna delete that so I can add a keyframe. That's just so I can divide it easier. Like that. So whoop, whoop. It needs to be a lot more down here. So for here, this one should be more down. Now we lost the easings. Boop, boop. Does that have... okay. I was looking at the easing. Is this... this needs a -100 for it to speed up. Boom. Settle. Go up real quick. It already has it. This does not. I'll move this over. Gaming Flemmy. This is Adobe Animate. It's quite good. Delete that. Boop, boop. We can mess with the timing. Balloon. Delete keyframes. There shouldn't be any right now. I guess maybe I was looking at timing for here. Now this is a bit slow to get back up. Now we can work on the balloon, maybe. Hopefully that'll help. Thinking about making this a bit lower and stretch out. For it to kind of like get back into it, and then contact to here, it needs to be squished down and stretched out. We can adjust Derby's movement too. So now, boop, boop, kind of squishes down. Then it kind of goes back into position, like its original form. It should have like a swatch here. And then nothing, and then from here to contact. It should be squished down and stretched out. Of course, there's nothing happening here because it's already out. And then we can play with Derpy again. Like when she contacts here. She could be even lower. And that brings her up. And then here should now be squishing the balloon, and then it reacts to her. So let's see that in context. Nope, that's the other one. There you go. That looping error is happening because the inside does not equal the outside. So we can see here it's 42, and now it's looping at 46. So we go back to, what was it, 42? Okay. Go here, move those frames on the outside of scene 2. Boop, 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 boop. That's pretty good. I kinda love it. So, yeah. We can always go back frame by frame and readjust anything I didn't think looked good. Oh yeah, the expression. We need to make her not enjoy this. Let's make her like super afraid. And to do that, we need to make her kind of sad looking until, probably should also put this in the mirror, the pony, paper pony base, where I'm gonna duplicate layer and then make the top layer a bit smaller, like that. Change the color to white. That's just an artistic choice, and do the same thing to the other eyeball. And then finally tune it, adjust it. Just the eyebrow. Now, cause that control out in her. There we go. Now she's a bit afraid. Like maybe she's not having the best time. Yeah, how long did that take? Like, maybe like, obviously less than an hour and a half, because that's how long I've been streaming. Of course, you can always, again, go back and tune it. I thought some parts were a bit, kind of went back between fast and slow. I think maybe here, I can delete maybe 2 frames. Where was I? Maybe just 1 frame. Like that. There we go. And then we needed, so now it's 41. And what's 41 times 2 is like 82. I think. If I just go back. Maybe it's 80. Okay. Nope. Okay. Whatever. So now it'll loop 2 times in here. And then forgot the lore. I'm looking it up. The balloon popping. Where is it? We did that. We did the flip. I can show you it again while I figure this out. Okay, then comes Pinkie Pie and gives her a new balloon once the balloon pops. Okay. Yeah, okay. So she does that. Now if we're totally happy with this, we can totally just copy this again. Maybe I should just get Pinkie Pie first before I'm worried about that. Let's get rid of a couple stuff before it gets too confusing. Up here. Base Pony. Did I do anything? Sure, save. Open file. Main 6. Was that it? I called it main 6. Anyway, yeah, I made a file with all the main 6 just hanging out. Copy Pinkie. New layer. Pinkie. Get it around the same size. My shift button wasn't working, so I'm just gonna be more careful. Get it around the same size. I'm sure there's a more easier way to do this. Rule of thirds. Gotta have her put it over there. Now we can have her. So now I got a storyboard that's a bit more where we need. And this is Pinkie Pie. So Pinkie Pie isn't here. This goes, then maybe about here we'll have a thing and label it Pop. Then she's sad. And then maybe she'll be sad, and then Derby will be sad that balloon popped, and then Pinkie Pie appears and gives her a new balloon. So we can start by working on Pinky Balloon. Or maybe I should do it like I normally do and just already make a duplicate of it. I don't know why you guys say banana's fun to spell. I love spelling balloon. Save. Okay. What I wanted. I want a new balloon for her. So she's gonna be holding it. So now I want to have these layers appear outside, so I'm gonna guide this one there. Don't worry. It's too technical to explain anyway. How that all works. Okay. Just know that it works. We can have the balloon. A new balloon. We can have fun and tint it. Not sure why it's disappearing. Oh, it's trying to tint the whole thing. That's right. Okay. Go back, go back. We can make a new duplicate of balloon. And now take these colors. What color should it be? Could be pink. Have like a real velvety kind of pink here. Almost like a... Not sure what you call that. Probably mix up all my stuff here. Flip it so it's a bit pleasing her. Should be looking at her. Did I? Yeah, okay. Then she could be happy. She could be smiling. So because I duplicated it, it should be fine to add, yeah, it's a different color. Ooh. Might have to sneeze. Okay. We're good. That's pretty thick. Let's bring that down. That's pretty good. We'll have it be around there. So we'll tie it around her hand. And then to the balloon. There we go. So now the balloon will rest here. And then we can even... let's make sure we got all this working first. I was gonna have the balloon kind of drift back and forth. Want to make sure its position is fine. Now what we can do is do a camera trick, or I think that might be easier to use a camera. So this is in the newest version of Animate. It's a new feature. You're learning a lot of stuff here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is use a camera, and this zooms in and this rotates. So I'm gonna... no. Get that backwards. This one. This one zooms in. I can press this key. There's a little box here. Maybe... now I just need to make them either both smaller or just zoom out. So I can be more zoomed out, and then thanks, Torchic profile thing. I think I'm just gonna keep it fairly simple for now, where Pinky's not here, and then the balloon pops, And then Piggy appears. I'm thinking about having her just jump in and then offer the balloon. And then cut. And then that'll be it. Yeah. So first we actually need her to pop. So maybe around here we need her. Yeah, we can go back up there. Okay. Sure. Tij. If that's your username. TGF. Right, so I'm gonna extend the thing here. Move tween. So right around here, she needs to pop the balloon. So this might be a bit longer. And then this needs to be more drastic. Of it just squishing the balloon so far. And then it'll be so far stretched and squished. Highlight everything, put it down. I need to delete this because we're going to change it. That's 100 out, and this needs to be 100 out. Then to match, yeah. Nope. Boop, 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 boop. Then I had a pop in one of my other videos that I can check out. Yeah, let's see. I think it was in my New Year video with the party poppers. Would it be white on white though, so they probably can't see it. Anyway. Pop, 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 popper. Nope, that's Umbra. This is my New Year's video. This is why we got a library, so we can not have to make the same thing again. Was that it? That's pop explode. I think that's it. Check. Oh, frozen. Okay. This might be it. There it is. Okay. So if I change this, now you can see it. So it's just a little spark explode thing. Boop, boop, boop. So we can use this. So we gotta go copy. Go to, and close this. Go to here. And then make a new layer. And then about here. And it just explodes. Maybe we could have a bit more tension. Like it's boom, and then yeah. So around here the balloon needs to be just either just here or just dead. Needs to be little bits maybe, and then it's gone. This needs to be play once, and then it'll be gone. So pop, and then pop, and then she's like Wile E. Coyote, and then a couple seconds later, then she falls really fast to the ground. So we get the legs in position. First, just make it all flat. therapy is bouncing up. The balloon pops, and before she comes down, Pinky puts her balloon there. Kind of late for that now, I'm sorry. So let's get pose. Boop, boop. This needs to be really quick first, and then a settle. So that's 100 compared to a negative 100. This leg is weird. Tail's not connected. Yeah. Boop, boop, and then we made the overshoot in theory, but now we just have to make it an overshoot, if that makes sense. So this goes down, that goes down, that's rotating. Boop, 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 yeah. So I kinda like, she's like whoop, and then settle. Whoop. So in context, do, pop, boop. Just watch the pop, hup, hup, pop, fall. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's what I wanted. Excuse me. Hup, hup, pop. Then she falls. So I'm gonna have to extend it a bit. Pops around in the right place. Pop with this little thing here, and then need her head to be a bit low. Like she fell, and then now we need the camera to zoom out for Pinky to come in. Pinky's off screen, so it only shows the white part when we export it. Pop. What's the highest point? It's about the highest point. So I need to arrange these. Scale it. That at the right plane and height. Boop, 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 pop. Pop. Ah, okay. Let's see. Thinking about around here, maybe a bit earlier. I just want the camera to pan a bit lower so we can have her a bit more in frame. Yeah. Something like that. Poop, poop, poop. Yeah, don't really notice it. Oh, the balloon kind of stays in the middle. That's kind of cool. Oh my. Okay. Says Van. This is Adobe Animate. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Pop. Fall. Now we need it to zoom out Here's Pinky. Okay. So now we're gonna, on this frame, zoom out, pan over a bit, in like less than a second. Whoop. There we go. Whoop. Let's make it a bit longer. Camera could be a bit more centered on Derpy and a bit zoomed in. Hoop. Hoop. Almost could be a bit lower. Something like that. So what do we got? Pop, boop, zoom out. Something like that. We're gonna need more time out here. Ooh, it's distorting me. Okay. Well, you can close your right eye, I guess. That should help. Let's see, so pop, boop, Pinky. And then, wait, what actually happens? I think she said supposed to be tappy and then cut. That'll be way simpler. So, out here. Yeah, Adobe Animate has this stupid glitch with the camera where if we go inside and out, like it changes the scale of it. Unless you make a keyframe. Maybe. Nope. Keyframe trick didn't even work. Or it didn't, usually just goes back to scale that it should be on the stage. That's a bit slow. So now we're gonna have her. We'll change the expression, but now she's just gonna. Can't really see where she is. See, I want to have it where their eye lines meet, but because that it's zoomed in, I can't see that. So I want like an eye line. So I just have to eyeball it now instead. Ugh. Kind of want the rest of her to kind of like she's really just like a snake pose, just laying up, and then like a quick. This will be the settle pose, and this will be the overshoot. Overshooting what we just made. So what we just made was a pose, and then we're just overshooting what we did, and then making that a keyframe between there. Yep. Looks like the head didn't go far enough, so we'll make the head go far enough back. Make this longer. Head needs to be way longer. There we go. Now she's back here because I'm back outside of it, so I'm on scene 2 instead of scene 2 inside of Puppet. Okay, so what do we got? Hoop, poop, poop, pop. Look up. Change the expression. A bit later for Derpy. Now I'm just getting the body poses. Make sure that all works before you play with the expressions. Then the eye meet, and then Pinky maybe does something, just like a nod or extending it. Eyes meet, pause, Pinky does something. Why are you over here, Pinky? So we can see here at that 50 where it should be outside here, I want it to be starting at 100, so I need to extend the frames. inside both of these. Click out just to get the right keyframe number. And then a little bit later, we don't need but we did needed these two arm pieces were guided, because I'm usually using this one, which is just one piece instead of the two piece. So I'm getting out of these ones. It's kind of like a library, but it's just more, you know, convenient because it's inside of the puppet. Make sure I didn't delete anything. Now I can't know. There it is. There you are. I don't know why. Hopefully people also have this problem, so they'll fix it. Beginning, since she has an idea. Let's see. So we need anticipation, which we these keyframes. So it should go down. Shouldn't do it there because I don't want it to be, you know, back up here. And this will be the main pose. This will be the overshoot one, and then a settle. So let's see. Oops. Balloon's way up there. Boop boop. Oh, it's just getting worse. Where am I? Okay. It's just... Oh, got the head. Oh, I got the shadow too. That's also important. Good thing. Didn't do that. That's working better. And then head goes down. Hoop, hoop, hoop. This is anticipation. Now we need the overshoot, in which arm and balloon is moved and stretched out. So we need to stretch this arm, get these two, and then stretch it out. Maybe rotate it a bit more. Maybe she's doing that. Let's play with this. And then have her kind of give it to... Dude, man, that's really annoying. So she's like, wop, bop, 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 bop. Giving the balloon to her. And then a settle. And so on this one is the overshoot, which we exaggerate the pose we just made. Then we go here, make them all tweens. Hoop. Where'd you go? Hoop. Except the head does not go out far enough. In context. Yeah, something like that. And now, what is this? This is just... what's your favorite character in MLP? Guess the easy answer is Derpy. Anyone else? Oh, I like the waiter at the sandwich place. He's cool. This layer is... I think this is just storyboard, but these are just labels, practically. I was also... That's what I wanted to make a... This is black for making a black screen. So once the action is done, she needs more frames at the end. She looped. Okay. Get the balloon. Hang. Blank. Now we need black. we'll make it a fade to black. So I'm gonna need the rectangle tool. Make a big rectangle. Make this a symbol. This is black. And kind of move it, scooch it. Give it a keyframe on here. We'll get this 0 alpha in the properties panel. Give it a tween. You can do it. Give it a 50 ease, and then let that hang for about half a second. There. So what we got now is that, boop, boop, and then give the balloon, and then fade to black. Okay, we're almost done. So before Pinky appears, we can give her a keyframe and then delete her from existence before she shows up, and then pop in. Okay. Then I was gonna do expressions. So inside of here, Derpy, she is afraid and worried, and then pop, and then that's a good kind of expression with the eyes. So I'll let that hang for a couple more frames than it usually is. So I can set it to single frame so it'll stay on this particular frame. And then she looks up. Okay. Well, I need to synchronize the frames. There we go. Okay. Hoof. Her mouth should also close. Well, she's closing her eyes. 21. So I know roughly where to be. Close it a bit. Next frame. 17. And then at 16. So she's like, whoop. And then in context, boop. Boop. Okay. Then around here, she can open her eyes before she looks up, maybe? We can always move these over. But now we can loop these. Not that. Get the eyelid. Get the eyelid. There you are. Yeah, she kind of like opens her eyes and then looks up. But we want a different expression, so we don't want here. We're going to delete it. And this one, delete it. There's like sad. Then we gotta know in context when Pinkie Pie gives her the balloon. Give balloon. Ooh, that's good. I like it when there's blinks. Blinks are good for from changing expressions. So around here, then we can change mouth to happy. And now it's just getting happier. And then even happier. Ooh, I got a message. What's that? What do you want? Oh, we got 2 messages. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me give her more flattening expression. Okay. Hey. Oh, I probably shouldn't be saying this. I'm texting someone. Give me a sec. I'll let this play. Control. Oh, enter. Yeah, give me a sec. Okay. Okay, let's finish this up. So, she looks, give him a balloon, happy, maybe even more happy, maybe no eyebrows. So around here, eyebrows need to either don't know what that was. They can go up and then delete from existence. Aha! I'm actually super happy. Alright. We gotta make more of these streams. I don't know, this was more of a just a celebratory Patreon gold thing that I just made up, and I guess also coincidentally getting 23,000 subscribers, which thank you so much. I genuinely love it. Thank you. If I was gonna do more live streams, I would probably do them on Picardo TV or .com or whatever. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Picardo.tv. So this is a website. So I think I have an account. Let me log in. That's my password. There we go. So now I'm logged in. So let's see. So I'm Yoshi Greenwater, of course. I'm Picardo, and of course I'm not streaming right now. So you might be able to find me here on Picardo TV / Yoshi Greenwater. I just might. It's just hard to know. I'm just more busy nowadays. And there's a lot of course, what was I got distracted. I got a lot more schoolwork and group work and stuff, so. What was I saying? I'm trying to say CDA. I can't talk about group work projects. Basically, yeah. So, I probably can't. I can't show a lot of group work stuff that want me to keep their stuff secret or just not spoil stuff. So, because I got a lot more of those now, it's less likely to do those streams in a way. That makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, right now I'm gonna make this balloon wobble. Let's make it pretty long. Because these are shapes, I need to make them into graphics like everything else that we got. Because if we tween just as it is, like with this, I could tell that it's a shape because there's a checkerboard pattern. Oh, that's really good. High definition. Okay. I'm gonna make each of these layers. I can make both of these balloon things. That symbol, which it kind of already was. I didn't copy them. Copy frames. This is balloon pink bulb to, yeah, identify, paste. There we go. And of course this is a bit long-winded way just to I should be using my tablet to get this perfect. Good enough. Okay. Get rid. Delete. Okay, so now we got this, and we got this stick that we need to. We got string. Man. Oh boy. Okay. Almost lost breath there. Okay. Oh yeah. Does that mean no or what? Less likely. I'll just have to check back for more details, basically. See if I can set up a schedule and like what I can show. It's complicated in that regard. Anyway, back to this balloon warble that we just set up. So I made these both symbols, just so I made them two symbols so I can animate them individually and do a bit more flexible animation. So I want them in this pose, and then at the same pose so it'll loop good. The timing It's placeholder. Everything's placeholder right now. So I want it to go left and then back and then middle maybe. Maybe this can already be on a right and then it just goes left and then back here. And trying to do the middle whole segment. I want it to be a bit slow because there's not too much wind in this white void here. So same thing where when I don't want objects to warp, change. That's pretty good. Then I can see it looping. Clicking the loop button down here. Yeah, this definitely needs more time and maybe like a really soft ease. That's a bit much. It needs to. I don't really understand this, so I just usually just play with it a bit, or just just give up afterward. Boy, like that kind of woo. Woo. You can imagine the sound. Yeah, we can do sound effects maybe even, or not. Keep it silent in this white void here. Of course, you can always add a background. Where should it be? Any ideas? Requester gets first stop where what kind of background we might want. There we go. Yeah, balloon. Woo. Haha. Bit more time there. Okay. I think that's pretty much done for the animation. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. A bit more hang time here. It's mostly just what I would call post-production, where it's like the animation is pretty much already done. Now it's just adding time in the scenes themselves. Nope. We can see this one, that's a jump. And then the more complicated one. There we go. Okay, Crosser doesn't know. Oh, thanks. Thank you very much, TGF. Crosser doesn't know, so let's look up my background somewhere in Equestria. Okay. Do I have like a... I'm usually very organized with my stuff. Like having files just for backgrounds and stuff. So that's it. I'm just gonna be looking through a bunch of files. This is one that I typically use a lot. See, in this file I got a lot of different backgrounds. Some that I use more than others. That's a reference one, reference picture. See how I figure this out. We're trying to overlay closer up pictures so I can get more detail if I wanted. Yeah, I made this file a while ago, so like almost a year ago practically. So some of these backgrounds I've never used because I never actually made them in this file. I'm either thinking this one or the first one, this one. I don't know. I usually have like a house here. Thinking that I just retroactively add in later. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that's it. Oh yeah, I named them weird names in the scenes. Yeah, called this zombies. I don't know why. Was there? Oh yeah, from Twilight's like, oh, maybe there's zombies. The trail. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe this one? Is that what you mean? 3 or 4. Okay. Yeah, we're going with 3. That's not it. This is it. And because we use the camera, I don't have to worry about the zooming in later with this one. I just have to make sure it's big enough to fill up and it looks okay in context. That's like if I wanted something, you know, behind this hill, this green hill, then I would have to make this hill on a different layer between, you know, everything. Boop, boop, boop. So the camera works pretty well for this kind of stuff where it's like, oh, I did everything, let me add a background. And then you saw that I didn't have to I didn't have to move the background perfectly afterward to sync it up. So, everything else with the camera is still very buggy. Let's fix it to the right size. So, there we go. Made a thing in 2 hours. Made 2 things in 2 hours. Cool. You can see my swath history is it's trying to say like, oh no, it's bigger than it was last time, and it's like, yeah, I added more stuff. Let's look at the first one, the little jump, and then the ball one, the balloon one. Oh look, she's on top of the hill. That could be cool, but we can also try and do that thing that I was talking about by, of course, the camera always zooms back out. By using this piece, we could copy layer. We can make it real fancy and add a new layer. Set base or duplicate? There it is. There it is. And just make it the same size, of course. It's like I'm holding Shift and Alt, so this was just a bit more annoying to do. That looks alright. Extend exposure. Of course, black. Where is black? Black's not here. Black should be like up here. You can probably tell by now that these are in layers, where black is on top, and then storyboard, and then Derpy's layered below. So that looks good. Okay, so now all about iteration. Jump, and then balloon thing. Pop, boom. You get a balloon. Now she's behind the hill. Almost. OCD. Okay. Well, that's not. Hopefully. Jump. Yeah. Balloon thing. Pop. Oof. You get a balloon. Dude, we did it. Okay. We can call this, label these scenes now. This is jump and this is balloon. So, like in this one, yeah, thanks guys. Where am I? I'm inside of a symbol. Here we go. So like in the last episode, last time on Derpy, so we can see how complicated a final video is. We got sound effects, stuff like that. This moves, and then I tweened her from this position over here. Added the camera move, stuff like that. These are storyboards in this layer. If I can see them, here they are. So, these are just little doodles to say, oh, I want Derpy to be a bit sleepy and then she goes over it and flies, has a little arrow saying where to go. And then I just do this for like the whole show. This is just timing, position, expressions, everything, just to lay it out. Let's see if I can mute. There we go. So now we can just watch the storyboard of the New Year's one. The screen's green, so I can easily see if I misplace a background or there's a hole. If there's a hole in the background, I can fix that. Yeah, here's Jeff, the waiter. And I called him Doctor on his hat. I called them all their names. And then happy. And that's the curtain, and that's it. Then if you want to look at everything else, like the actual animation, is all this. Stuff like here. I didn't use the camera because I wanted the sky, this layer. There you go. So you can see like the stars in this mountain. I wanted them to move independently. So you can see here. If I just used the camera, it wouldn't. It would just zoom in like this instead. But to get, you know, the depth 3D effect, I had to do it the long way, which is a bit unfortunate. That's like, that's kind of what the camera, you know, tool is for. They were all hanging out over here before. The swipe over. The swipe's fun. It's just a bunch of lines, and then I didn't blur them, but I usually blur them, and then for about 4 frames, and then in the middle, you know, change the scenes. Yeah. Reading your comments. Here we go again. Ooh, you can save it. Here we go. Same thing again. I think there's less of a parallax in here though. Then there's this. We can kind of do a little boundary pick. Here we go. Oh yeah. Because you only see his arm, I could just slide him just all over right there, and he has a bit of a, you know, overshoot there. Oh yeah, I haven't really talked about the flipping. Let's try and do that. Let's make a new thing. Just to explain it, because I know probably want to know, right? All. We can maybe do it on Peaky. Who cares? Okay, here we go. This might be the last thing I'll show off, unless we got more. Either Patreon requests or something else comes up. Right? Might go on a long tangent on something else. Give it some exposure. What am I doing? So what I want to do, we're not going to do any animation inside of her. We're just going to have her flip from looking this way over to the other side. So this is a pretty simple trick. Let's see. Thinking best solution. Okay. So what I'm going to do is make a keyframe here. So that divides this section from this section. And I do about 5-ish frames, so 38, well, 28, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't have to be exact. And then I go to my transform panel, which is in Windows Transform. And then, well, in this version, animate new, or whatever you want to call it. The is it the winter update? Anyway, there's this little button down here, reflect horizontally, and I know in like I have like CC as well, and I know that you have to click on this. If you want to do the same thing close, you'll have to go onto this value and then select this to -100 just to keep it the same. Boop boop. So that's basically what we're doing. Then I'll tween it, and we can see that Flash is trying so hard to tween it, and it's like, oh, I sure can't figure out what you're doing. Best way to, the way that I figured out how to do it was to add a 100% ease, which looks like this. So it goes, each frame is like a block here, horizontally. So it starts slow and then ramps up. So it's slow, slow, fast, which you can see here. Next trick is like a magic trick. We gotta convert this to frame by frame animation inside of the tween. So that means I can alter the tween itself and have every frame inside of it be a keyframe that I can easily edit without affecting, you know, having each frame be independent of each other. Then I can use the transform tool. We can see this little icon here, and I can pull it to the left in this case and kind of keep it fairly horizontal here, and basically just what we're doing for each frame. Usually try to zoom in a bit closer. Want that to be flat. Turn down the music just a tad. There we go. That's a new keyframe. Can't see. There we go. So each frame, and I found it's a bit easier when it's a bit lower than where it's going to in the next part. And then that should be the last frame. Okay, so now what we got is something like that. Where it just flips. And of course we can even modify it even further if we wanted to. And in case of, I think in here, yeah, it's the basic, you know, same principle of what we just did. We can see it here, but just in this case that I had the head flipped over, and then she's moving frame by frame, having her head stay the same relative position, but just having her body flip over. Where am I? Yeah. So something like that. Alright, how we doing? Hi guys. Yeah, it's great that you're showing up. Really appreciate it. This has been fun. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. For the tutorial. Yeah. So I think I got a Word document that has, yeah, a whole bunch of other stuff that I can show off. But this was just a, you know, kind of thing. So for the Patreon gold thing that I just made up, and also the 23,000 subscriber gets kind of milestone thing. So thanks. we can totally do something else. I'm up for anything else, any kind of request now. Anything else you want me to show off? Any other kind of tutorial thing? Or else we can just shut it off and I can go to the Picardo dang scheduled ad stuff. Try to figure out, you know, schedule with my time and probably, hopefully, something within your guys' time. Yeah. Alrighty. Probably shouldn't save this one. While we're here, I can show you my next project. If you don't mind that. Let's open that. Is it there? Nope. Where did I put it? Paper Derby. Yeah, so I'm gonna big announcement, I guess. Gonna try and make a film or like a movie kind of style paper derpy video. So I want it to be a bit more ambitious in scope and everything. So I'm trying to release that around October to, you know, go along with the other pony movie. So so right now I'm just writing the script and making sure that all works and trying to do some character designs. Let's see if do I got that? Yeah, so here's just a really very rough preview of one of my characters I like to have in a film. It will probably be like a short film, like only 5 to 10 minutes, but that's still like, to like my other videos, that'll seem like a movie. So that's kind of the joke. So here we got this, I call it a naga, which is like I think it's either Greek or something for a serpent. So I got this snake kind of body and a pony head. So I got either male or female snake creatures. So I just gotta clean up the body here and see if these work out well. So I don't know. Well, I'm just waiting for, you know, any kind of response from you guys, like, "Oh, that's great" or something, you know. Of course, these are the very basic heads that I showed off earlier. Of course, this is, I used a brush tool, you can see here that is very sketchy, so I'll just have to clean that up. So it's just a creature that I wanted to have in the paper derby film, untitled film thing. Yeah, thanks. So I'll just wanted to make something a bit more longer and more, you know, complex than like my other videos, which really only take like a week to produce. So I wanted to spend a bit more time, you know, more than at least more than a month on this project here. This is Adobe Animate, so it's the new version of Flash. Will you have some regular releases in the meantime? Yes, so I'm gonna be quite busy this year. I've already made a kind of laundry list of videos I want to produce this year. So I've already got like about 17 video ideas right now, which are just like Derpy does X with Y or visits X, kind of very brief kind of videos, ideas. So there'll be a lot more. There'll be more Paper Derpy minute-long videos across the year, as well as a lot more, some more news style, which I can kind of show too. Let me see. Do I got that? I was trying to do. Is this it? No, that's just the textures. But yeah, I'm trying to play with different art styles. Is this it? Yeah, with this style. Where it's more, you know, cut out, highly textured, kind of pop arty. That's zoomed in really far. Make it seem like it was made with real materials. So I added, you know, the drop shadow, like if it was made out of, you know, cardboard and felt and stuff. So I want to do some videos with this or an altered, refined version of this style. So I'm working on that. So I'm working on maybe like kind of like slice of life kind of videos with these, like kind of other ponies not focusing on Derpy. Like what does the flower ponies do? You know, maybe something comedic, like trying to do like very short form with those. Maybe like only 30 seconds, like something real short with that, with this kind of style. And then maybe mixing and matching these style videos with my normal regular videos as well. So I'm trying to really mix it up a lot this year, because I felt like last year was to me was a kind of a disappointment, just in terms of I felt like I wanted to tell a lot of, you know, interesting stories, but I felt like they became a bit too esoteric or, you know, really hard to follow along, because I was busy with a lot of more stuff last year. So I really want to focus on my stuff a lot more, make them the best they could be, really. Yeah. And of course this is a puppet, so everything works and stuff. So let's see. Oh, I even got the circles in the right place. Yeah. So that's a little sneak peek of this and that. And this is, I'm trying to do it in widescreen. Or it's just fake widescreen. Still being having, you know, 1440, which is 2K video. You even could lower that down. I'm just trying to, you know, trying to go for the real. Thanks, Deadpool. Trying to give it the real, like, film look. So maybe like made in the, you know, turn of the century kind of films kind of style. So try to maybe add some grain or some full post-production stuff that I'm thinking about. I'm trying to, you know, try with this widescreen formation and got the rule of dirts and yeah. Can't really show too much else besides that. Got my own content disclosure agreement. But yeah. I think we'll leave it up to maybe it's more Q&A. Maybe we'll wrap up around maybe turn of the hour. What do we think? I could show off maybe like one more thing, maybe. But yeah, really excited about that. All these different, trying to expand more than what I'm usually doing. Yeah. Yeah, thanks so much. It's really the fans that get me really going. I was like, well, man, just hearing that, people are watching, it's way more important. Let's see. Could open something else completely different if I want that. Can I even open that? Do I even know where it is? This is the main part. Where'd it go? I had it open earlier. Huh. Did I call it something stupid? Nope, not that. Trying to find something. Oh yeah, I think I did call it something dumb. Yeah, there it is. So this was also a thing. That I made like almost. Yeah, I think that's actually really new. 2015. I think I made this in 2014. Anyway, this is. You've probably seen those, the Minty and Tired Brony puppets. So I wanted to make my own. That just happens. If I gave this to someone, I think. Did I? I guess I did. That's why I made this. So we can get rid of that. So yeah, this works virtually the same as the paper ponies, but just hexaplex, more complex. Doing the thing. Okay. So with this one, just to give it a, we can do it a quick overview. That it's made of a bunch of symbols, and in this 2-frame section here, it has everything. Each part has its own timeline. Head's most complex. Part, wings, horn. So I can change this, as we saw with the paper pony, to change the color, give it some hair, change the eye color, everything to make this a universal asset that I can change. Got these little arms. So this was mostly just more puppet practice when I was first learning how to use any of this. Like I only started learning animation like in 2013. That's when I started. So this is fairly new. So I would definitely want to maybe use this as a base to improve this much more, so I can do. Maybe I can do more show style animations, or maybe just help them more group projects and stuff like that. Because I am working on a group project right now that uses these kind of show puppets. So if I had my own, I wouldn't have to. I could feel like I can give myself credit. Yeah. So we can go inside the head, which also has all the head turnaround parts. The blue tint is the mask, so you can see like how this purple part bleeds outside of the eye. With the mask, it'll hide it to be fitting around just the blue part. Yeah. Eyelashes, of course, I kind of set it up pretty much the same as my paper pony, where the eyelashes have a blink cycle, which I time it out. So, like I did with I'm trying to automate a lot of my parts when I do puppets. So I know, other people, like especially Minty and Tyberbrony, they just have inside of here, they would have all these blink parts, blink frames, at the beginning and have like a million more style. But I wanted to keep this simple. And it's, if it's like, a different kind of eyelash, you would, change it anyway. You don't want to have like too many excessive parts in it, in the puppet. So I just keep it, simple and have it time out so I don't have to worry about, oh, did I have a blink in this scene? Just by having this on loop over here in the properties panel, I didn't have to say, at frame 65 have blink start or be in the middle right here because of the loop inside of the thing. This just goes inside of here and then loops back and then does this over and over, and then outside it does it. So I don't, it's just, it just helps with stuff like that, so I don't have to spend less time on, stuff like this, especially just, blinks, because, most of the time you're just blinking anyway. It's just so automatic a lot of times, like in life. Here's a mouth. Of course, it is. We have to do it like this again, where we have every possible mouth inside of here, just one after another. And here's some fun ones that I did. Yep. Any kind of expressions I want that I found that I think might be useful. And of course, if you change the angle of the head, then the mouth has to change. You have to. It's a long process where you have to make every possible mouth shape in every head turn. So this probably took the longest to create this section, just all the mouths, and of course adding the fun ones at the end, and of course having the most needed ones at the beginning, which is the happy ones. Yoshi starting, I think we just copied and pasted. Well, I copied and pasted the mouth, and the eyes are exploded onto the head layer. I think I did that more recently with the update that I made. Yeah, that's just a little tour of this, and we got the that's hidden. Different eyebrows and expressions here. I think I should have a cheek around here, maybe. Yeah, it gets, obviously, it's like the eye has the most parts to it, but like the mouth has definitely the most amount of symbols, shapes, frames in it. Yeah, that's just a basic overview of that. So I'll probably work on this as well as everything else on my checklist, as well as, any other work I got. Got a wing flap here if I ever wanted. And it flaps. That's fun because when it gets to here, yeah, it's got this pretty cool motion blur, like it's kind of between like a motion blur and a smear, because it's this low alpha. You can see here it's like 80% alpha, little whoosh, like an air, because it goes down and then up. So it's like it adds a lot more power, whoosh, by by adding that little thing there, which I thought was really cool. Alrighty. Yeah, see ya. We're gonna end this stream really soon. Yeah. So I think we can do some closing comments, or closing questions maybe, or comments and everything. Close this. Think of that thing we made. Yeah, sure. What did I do? At request. That's what I did. Open this again. No, this is also a thing. Where it's like, why did the camera, because I closed the file, the camera resetted itself, so now it's off. And all that, all these tweens back here are now off by like a lot. So I have to go back in. Hey, look, I fixed. I don't understand. It's still off because Derby should be in the middle. Like this. It's just weird. I don't understand this. Why it wants to bug out here. So I just have to go back and fix this. It's not much, but it's like, you can probably tell, like in a longer animation, this would be very annoying to have to reset this up, You kept the zoom, which is weird, but I just forgot the position of it. Yeah, that should work better. Up. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, glad you all liked it. And yeah, I don't know what to say. Scene 3, you can play with us. This is just final touches up, unless you have more comments and stuff. I'm ready to listen. This is Flip. I know there's a couple guys in here who haven't said anything. Thinking about moving this a bit over. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, you can put her in the background. Look at email. Yeah, we're just wrapping up right now. I'm just gonna add this one background here. I think we'll call it good, and I can even give the patrons this movie file, so I can have it. Would you want that? Yep. So let's copy it. Put a new layer. There you are. Boop. Now she's here. There we go. Now we can do this one. Can have a background. Of course, these aren't all my backgrounds that I use. I just happen to put these backgrounds together when I did a whole bunch of backgrounds way back when. So these are just kind of like my library of backgrounds, but yeah, I got way more. It's just I kind of make them inside of the video itself, making it backgrounds. This is background. I don't like the size of this, so I'm going to use the camera tool, obviously. So I want Peaky to be a bit smaller, so I'm going to just zoom out a bit. So I used the camera tool because I wanted to not mess up these frames, because if I had to change like the zoom of this one, because this is independent frame from this one, the scale would be independent as well, so I just use the camera tool. It's a bit quicker. Way quicker. There we go. And of course with the camera tool bugs, it's still a bit risky to use it right now. So, like I did with the New Year one, where I did the zoom out, where I did a whole bunch of tweens to make sure that the sky was different from everything else, to keep every part be independent. Yeah. Let's see. Up. Yeah, that's good. I'm just looking at positions and stuff. And then that. Ooh. We can even have transitions between frames. So we could do the same thing with the black. So I went into library, typed it in, and found it here. There you are. That'll be our final thing. It's a bit big. Don't need it that big. That's fine. Okay, so around here it should start. And that's where it goes there. Yeah, I think that's good. So in this section here, it should be 0% alpha, add a tween, add a ease, and then in the next scene, it can then be bold. I already have a black here, so I can just add it, another instance of it, and then like 3-ish, 4, 5-ish frames. Delete it from existence afterward. Because it's already alpha, we can bring alpha back down. It remembers the last alpha that I did, percentage. Oop. So now it'll go from here and then back up. And then it does that, and then the alpha goes back down. We can delete a couple of these frames here. A little more. Yeah. Then we do the same thing again. Because that's independent, we can add that. This is peak high, and this is BK for background. Add the black in. So we wanted to go back out. So about here. Set the alpha out. Delete it from existence afterward. Add the tween, add the ease. So now, a bit longer. That's good. So now it should fade to black, fade up, fade to black, back up. Yeah. And then that'll be the end of the video. There. Okay. Alright, gotta wrap this up. So, thank you very humbly, very much for watching. This has been great. I love doing this. Wish I could do more. So, again, I'll just have to let you know if and when I'm gonna do more live streams, so you can probably find maybe some updates. Maybe I'll put them on Twitter. Links in the description there if you want that. So yeah, I'm gonna close this now. So goodbye.